So stuff got really, really serious. I had about 2 days, well, definitely 2 days of really intense pain and processing. Lots of really deep, deep stuff came up, and it was tough. It was really tough. And then I had a day of just extreme exhaustion after experiencing that. And another day of feeling pretty tired and pretty emotional, but kind of on the upswing after that. And I thought it was probably fairly normal, but wasn't really sure. It wasn't fun at all. But I checked in with the practitioner that I'm working with, and it actually is a really good sign. And I came to the conclusion that if I have to go through something difficult like that, that I'm totally fine with it if it means that I'm making progress. One of the things that she explained to me that made a lot of sense was that I had just went through the third hour of listening and was in the fourth when all of that stuff came up to the surface. There's 5 total hours, and what I had no idea about is that the first 2 hours are just the kind of transition into getting your system used to the change. So they're a slower pace of what you're exposed to. And it makes total sense because in those first kind of transitioning phases, I actually had some really good experiences that you can see in other videos where I'll be talking about those and have talked about those. And then it's within the third that things really ramp up, that things get more intense. That's where you get exposed to the most. And then in the fourth and fifth hours is when things start going down again. So it's more of a transitional phase, more of a time to kind of assimilate everything that you've experienced from that third intense. So it makes sense that within the fourth, after I'd been through the intensity, the fourth is where everything just kind of got really serious, where I was processing, and, now I'm kind of in that still processing phase. The other thing that I did that I wish that maybe I had done a little bit differently is that in the first 2 phases, things were going really well. I was only listening for 10 minutes, and I thought, well, this is great. If I can get through this even quicker and be at the end of this and have this extraordinary change, then let's speed it up. So when I got into the third listening hour, I actually did 30-minute sessions. So I went really fast through it, and I didn't know exactly what I was going fast through. I had no idea what that meant. And then at the end of that, I realized that things were a little intense and that I may need to back down. So I started doing 10 minutes again. I wish that I had done 10 minutes throughout the third hour. And at the end of this, I may go back through the third hour and the fourth and the fifth based on what the practitioner is recommending. She said I could go back through those if I want to just try and get more out of it. But I will definitely only do 10 minutes each, which means it'll take me about a week to get through those 3 hours instead of 2 days that I got through that, which makes a lot of sense as to why things have been pretty intense. But it was difficult. I don't know that everyone would be prepared to deal with something like that. So I think, again, it's really important to work with a skilled practitioner who can help you. And some people may need more support or may just not be ready for the processing you have to do, because I had to do a lot of processing. I did a lot of writing, meditating, checking in with that practitioner. I had friends who checked in with me, and all of those things were helpful. And the other thing that I would just say is it's really important to just love yourself through this and take really good care of yourself. That's something that I've tried to do, just sleeping, eating, getting outside, again, meditating, the writing, whatever you need to do, just love on yourself so hard during something like this, and try and get yourself through it. So just wanted to give that update. Things can get really difficult in this process, and I definitely experienced that. I did a lot of it was just, really deep, deep wounds that came up, and, related to current things I'm going through, but, those current things were showing me things in the past, wounds that I have, and just being able to process those and understand what those wounds are and what the truth of those things are versus the thoughts that are in my head about them. So some of the really damaging thoughts that I can think, blaming myself, feeling broken and, worthless and unlovable, all those things. I was able to change a lot of those messages in my head and have a lot deeper understanding of what the truth is in those situations. So anyways, again, just love yourselves through this process if you go through it. And if you have to go through something hard like that,